we're going to do lat activation. So we're going to lay prone. If your hips tend to be in an awkward position, you can place a pillow underneath your hip bones. It will put you into more of a neutral pelvis if you have a tendency to have an anterior pelvic tilt. So I'm going to put a little pillow because it's going to help me activate my pelvic floor a little bit more and my glutes. So my legs are going to be straight, okay, toes and knees into the floor, pulling the rib cage in, making sure you're nice and comfortable. You can actually, too, if you tend to feel like your head is sinking down, you could even fold up a towel or cloth here to keep your spine nice and neutral. But I'm just going to have my forehead rested down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale. My thumbs are going to rotate up. I'm going to have an inhale here, pulling that air in through the nose. As I pull down with my elbows, okay, not up, down towards my hips, I'm going to activate those lat muscles. Okay, thumbs are still up. I'm going to continue my exhale as I pull myself off the floor to engage those lower lats. Okay, iliacostalis muscles here. Okay, lower back, multifidus, and then inhale, reach back up again, allowing those shoulders to come, those arms to come out as high in a Y as you can without pinching in through that AC joint. So you're inhaling, really allowing for that full breath out. So you're contracting that posterior chain. We're going to do 10 repetitions here. Flexing through the glutes, pulling the core in, belly button is up and in. And as you're exhaling, ribs are coming up and back into the abdomen. So you're pulling the abdomen away from the floor. So after you've done 10 reps of those, we're going to activate just the mid to lower trapezius muscles. So you're coming out into a little bit more of a Y, keeping the head down, and you're going to pulse up here. Making sure as you're breathing out, you're gently pulling those ribs and engaging that abdominal floor. Just 10 repetitions there. You should feel that mid back light up. From this position, we are going to do a external rotation and abduction. Rotation and abduction. If you want to work on strengthening the neck a little bit, you can pull the head off the floor, tuck the chin, and gaze up a couple inches. So external rotation, and then lift with that thumb and elbow at the same time, making sure our core is in with that breath. And if we're noticing any tightness in the neck, we can lay head to one side and stretch and just relax in through that SCM and posterior scalenes. Do the same thing on the other side for a couple breaths. You can even push your head down into the floor and then relax, and it'll help activate that release of the posterior scalenes. From that position, we're going to do a little stretch of the shoulder. So we're going to come here, okay? Our arm is going to be bent at 90. We're going to take this arm and gently come over top. Okay, reach that arm out a little bit. We're going to get pec major, serratus, a little bit of leg. Make sure your leg, nothing's cramping up. Just inhaling all the way to the pelvic floor. Letting yourself relax into the floor as you exhale. So opposite to a muscle contraction. When we're stretching, we're inhaling into that stretch, and then we're exhaling and letting ourselves relax. Okay, and then switching sides. 3 to 4 breaths per side when we're just doing this in between sets. And then you would go back into your lats for another 10. And then into your pulses here, tuck the chin, abs are in. Doesn't take long to do 10. Once you get into the rhythm, practicing form is the most important aspect of this laying prone routine, making sure that the core is balanced and you're focusing just as much on the anterior part of the abdomen as you are the posterior part of the core. After you're done that, you're going to gently push yourself up into a child's pose and take a few breaths here. You can stretch out the lats to one side. That breath is everything in a stretch, really allowing for that inhale through the nose and exhale into the floor. If this isn't comfortable here, you can come up, put a bolster, pillow, anything here in through the hips so that you're not on those knees or ankles.